Good evening, everyone. Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 3. Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 3. I repeat, Manchester 2, Galatasaray 3. Have I stuck myself in repeat, or is it that we have lack of doctors there, or would you got a doctor that was feeding the players sleeping pills? Because as soon as we scored, we went to sleep. And what a drama. What a shocking defense. When we fix ourselves going forward, nothing to take away. Hojlund, brilliant, scores a brace. That joy gets taken away from him. Only 3-4 minutes later, they score. And that goes like a ping pong ball, up and forward. Casimiro gets sent off. We get a penalty. They get a penalty. They miss. We were saved. But then the defense goes to sleep again. We were giving a little bit of a glimmer of hope. We were starting to attack. The crowd was behind us. Everything was good, hunky-dory. And defense goes to sleep. What the hell happened? It's just deflating right now. But welcome to the therapy session. I got Jarvis Cocker in the house. I got Football Power Hour in the house. Guys, talk to me. What's going on here?
Yeah. I don't know what to say because everything feels, as you said, Mick, deflated at the moment. I think Ten Hag is under extremely pressure at the moment. Onana is letting him down, one of his signings. We knew that it was going to be a difficult game because Galatasaray was a good team. And we saw that today they have qualities, especially when it comes to their attack with Mertens, Saha, and Icardi. We were talking about those three players before the game. And even then, we play very naive in defense. We do mistakes after mistakes. We lose the ball in very ways that, Amrabat on that third goal, he presses way. He's no left back. You see, it was a big mistake. And from Onana, and you saw that tackle from Casimiro, we lose our head. Bruno, who is our captain, he didn't step up and do his thing. He was wasteful on the ball all the time.
I feel like crying at the moment because it was such a great atmosphere. The rain was pissing down. The crowd was still there. We looked good going forward, attacking. We found a little bit of a balance. Hojlund made a difference. But the team let the defense let the goal down. So I wanted to put man of the match Hojlund because the goals that he took, it shows a little bit of a glimmer of hope. But we are kind of 2 games down in Champions League. You look at Copenhagen; they were 1-0 up in Copenhagen, but I think Bayern won. So we still have mathematically a chance. There's still some games to play, but it doesn't look good right now at the moment.
No.
We are in dire straits at the moment as a club. This is the most shocking season. Start of the season in '89. Nothing is going towards our luck at the moment. And Papi looks like he just sold the butter and lost the money. The last thing you have in the fridge, Papi. Talk to us.
Man, I don't even know. I thought we were past the deadlock phase, but it seems like we're back in it again, from the moment where I thought, oh, we're turning a corner. Marcus Rashford has made a breakthrough. He's finally learned how to pass. Oh, Hojlund he's showing promise with a header. This is going to be our game. And next thing, what happens? Oh, we concede a penalty. Icardi still misses the penalty. This is going to be our game. Everything is going to happen our way. But then other things just go the wrong way. Hannibal Mejbri blocks a shot that Mason Mount was supposed to score. And then it all just falls. Everything falls apart. There's an African novel called Things Fall Apart, written by Chinua Achebe. This is the epitome of it. Everything crumbled.
Yeah, we're waiting for Jay to set up. He's going to come in very soon and have his say as well. But we've been criticizing Marcus Rashford for not passing, and he passed instead of shooting. He passed instead of shooting. There was a brilliant through ball from, I think it was Casimiro that served him, or was it Eriksson that served him up on the counter? Eriksson that served him up in the counter attack. What a brilliant ball. And 9 out of 10, Rashford will shoot and put it behind the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper was not even settled. But I think his confidence was not there. He looked up once, he looked up twice, and third time he passed and mispassed. So that would be the difference. I think we would be, yeah, that would be a different game. I think. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Yeah, of course he should have shot himself, because Bruno, he was too far back. He didn't come into position, so it was almost an impossible pass. Again, I I would say his decision making is not good under pressure. So as soon as Rashford thinks, it goes wrong. He needs to play with on instinct, and that's what he's good at.
I'm almost done with Rashford. Jarvis. It's that thing where right now you're saying he's not good under pressure. When is any Man United player gonna play not under pressure? It's like if you're not good under pressure, then you're just not good for us, because as a Man United player, you have to be playing under pressure, making those high stakes decisions, split second decisions. They've got to be the right decision, and then the execution has to be right. And Rashford is just not there, confidence wise.
Yeah.
Like he's damned if he does this, he's damned if he doesn't. Poor him, but also at the same time, you have to stand up. You have to actually, show up. And Rashford, if only we had, answered the call when PSG called.
I agree with what you're saying there, Poppy, and it's 100% spot on. But I would ask the question: is this loss on Ten Hag or the players?
I wouldn't say Ten Hag. I don't think it's a loss on Ten Hag. I mean, we were complaining we're not scoring enough, and we set up offensively, like in the preview. We thought we didn't like that match, the lineup, but we looked pretty good in the first half, to be honest. I don't say it's on Ten Hag. I say it's on the defense at this moment, right? Because we went on sleep mode. So Bruno for me had a stinker. Who else did have a stinker to me? Daly looked a little bit stinker as well. Like he got out muscled in that. That was an easy defensive, the 1-1 goal, right? So there was nothing Onana could have done in that first place. But of course, as soon as you let one goal in, the confidence dropped as a goalkeeper as well. And third goal definitely on Onana, I think.
So Mick, you agree with the taking Hannibal off?
No.
Was he our worst midfielder?
He was one of our best midfielder, to be honest.
Okay.
But I kind of understood that he looked in the second half to have a little bit more control, more creativity in the midfield, to create more chances, because we looked a little bit ping-pongish. How do I say ping-pongish in the midfield? We couldn't keep the ball and strain the presses. So that's the reason why he kind of sacrificed Hannibal to put in Eriksen. And Eriksen actually worked in the second half. Like he made a difference. But we lost that tenacity in the midfield. In that case, he should have taken off Rashford and put in Anthony Dos Santos to the right earlier and Garnacho to the left. But that's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. But big up to big Rasmus Hojlund. Like 2 goals in the Premier League, 3 goals in Premier League right now. That's the only thing that I can take away is positive. Amrabat also looked very good into the. Was he to blame at the third goal, the Mario Cardi goal, or was it Onana?
Amrabat.
Yeah,
he's defending. Yeah. He was way too
got
aggressive.
out of position.
Way too aggressive, and he was caught out, and he lost his man. Very very simple. Was a junior mistake. You got to keep a little bit of distance in a situation like that. But I in a way, you can't blame Amrabat because he's no left back. And
no,
he's
of course
a
he was good.
Midfielder.
He was good all the way through the game. I mean, he's probably, if I had to sort of do the man of the match, he's right up there, as the man of the match as well, next to Hojlund. Eriksen made a difference in the second half. Okay, Rashford did assist Hojlund in the first, but that was the only thing, right? I can only criticize why didn't you shoot in that instant, 9 out of 10, that's what I said. Rashford would have buried that goal. Stephanie Griffith in-house VR. Welcome to the therapy session. God, I hate sitting here when we're losing, guys. To be honest, I had a weird feeling, Jarvis. I texted you before the game. I didn't feel it in my stomach. And I felt that there was something going on. But then I was like, okay, this looks good. Okay. But that joy didn't last long. Like, we couldn't celebrate too long because it was 7 minutes, 5 minutes in between each goal. Like, so big up Stephanie for coming here. Team of the match is all I'm interested in. Come on, United. Yeah, at least you're keeping the positive spirit up, Stephanie. What you're saying here as well, Sorin, Onana is rubbish. Need to get rid of him. As worse that Bartes. Well, wouldn't say he's rubbish, but he's got a rocky start. Like, he had 2 clean sheets in a row and had a bad game today as well. Or is it defensive? I mean, what could have been done with the Daly first goal, right?
We got to be honest. Onana has been terrible in the beginning of the season. He's not been good. He has had too many howlers, and he needs to step up his game, or he needs to sit on the bench. We have the new Turkish goalkeeper too. Yeah. So, but okay, let's give him some time. When we have played 10, 15 games, we will see. But I want to go back to the Ten Hag change in the halftime when we subbed Hannibal. For me, that was a big mistake. We kept on, as you said, Mick. You were right when you said it was ping pong, and that was because of Mason Mount and Bruno. They are too wasteful on the ball. They tried the whole pass. Both of them tried the same thing, and they are not press resistive when they have the ball. So we lose the ball in a lot of ways when we are on the attack and we are trying to establish an attack. And we always go for the first run, and we don't recycle the ball and try again from the other side. So, but the good thing with Hannibal was that he brought something different, because Hannibal was trying to carry the ball. When he got the ball, he was trying to carry it with him. And when Hannibal carried the ball, all the other players had the time to move up. So Hannibal did everything right. He was a little bit up and down. He lost the ball a couple of times, but at least he tried. So that was a big mistake from Erik Ten Hag. But subbing up Eriksen was a good thing, because Eriksen was actually good. He was precise in his passes. So
no, but it's a catch-22 situation there. Like, maybe you shouldn't take off Hannibal. Maybe you should have taken off Mason Mount in that instance and kept Hannibal on, right? So, yeah,
this loss is partially on Ten Hag's in-game tactical management.
Well, at least he did a sub. He did a change in the first half, and you got to give him praise for that. But Mark is saying here, I feel sorry for Ten Hag. Like, no manager can do anything with this amount of personal mistake. It's every single game. Yeah. So I call it like personal mistake. But I want to hear from Jay as well. It's just coming in here raw and fresh. How are you doing, Jay?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Oh, there we are. Soaking. To be honest, I said, like, we got ourselves. Finally, we got a doctor in the Carrington, but seems like he's feeding them sleeping pills.
Listen, guys.
Defense.
You know how there's like 7 stages of grief. I think under Solskjaer we went through all the stages. So we've been here before. We're just a poor football team. We're a very, very poor football team. We're badly managed. We're poorly led. No leaders on the pitch. And I think now it's guys trying to question Ten Hag's transfer strategy. I don't know if you guys have discussed Onana and Mount yet, but I think, guys, it's about time you start to question Ten Hag. I think a lot of fan base have him on his pedestal. 5 losses out of 7, 6 losses out of 10. That's not good enough. That's an understatement. So we can put a gloss on it. You can make excuses, blame the Glazers. You can blame injuries, blame what you want. But we are a very poorly led team. We've cited our previous managers for it, and I don't think Ten Hag should be above criticism, personally.
I just want to fill in on that, Jay, and I would say that Ten Hag is dying by his sword of Bruno and Rashford at the moment. Both of them are putting in stinkers, and we could see that Hannibal is better than Bruno, and Eriksen actually at the moment is better. But Eriksen had a good game when he came in, and Garnacho is better than Rashford. Garnacho was dangerous all the time when he had the ball. At least he was trying. He has tenacity. He just bend his head and run to the byline and try to cross, because he never gives up. So why is Ten Hag dying with the sword with Rashford and Bruno? Do you have any explanation?
Well, the Bruno thing I don't get, because Bruno is not his signing. Bruno was signed under a previous incumbent, and I've said it many times on the show and on other shows. Bruno's whole career at the club is predicated off the fact that we were down in the dumps in that pre-COVID season, and we were getting literally a penalty every second game, because they were still rationalising what a handball was, what a foul was in the box. And Bruno got a lot of fortuitous penalties during the lockdown season. And I think a lot of fans don't want to acknowledge that. I tweeted out tonight, I said that Bruno Fernandes has activated Stevie Wonder settings. Now, we've all come on shows and we've all come on social media, and we've called out Harry Maguire, we've called out Fred, we've called out Scott McTominay, we've called out every player, but it seems for a lot of us, we have this blind spot for Bruno. Obviously, Ten Hag's been a captain, very tough to drop your captain, but after what we saw on Saturday, I wouldn't play him tonight. Absolutely not. I wouldn't play him last Saturday either. The Rashford thing, like, we could spend the whole show on Rashford, but it's either one of two things. Either Ten Hag has pretty much been told by the higher ups, Rashford, he's the highest prepared the club. He is what the marketing around the club is based on. He's a star boy. You've got to play him when fit. Or Ten Hag sees Rashford as the player that he's going to build his team around. I said 3 years ago regarding Solskjaer, and I always use Solskjaer as a kind of a tipping point to where the management structure in the club went soft. Because we had a good manager in Jose, but Woodward threw Jose under the bus and chose Pogba and Rashford and Lingard over Jose Mourinho. Make it that what you will. So with the Rashford thing, Ten Hag is stupidly, for me, in building his team around Rashford, who tonight, guys, he finally puts a cross in the box and Hojlund scores. Oh, whoopie-doo. You're doing your job, son. You're doing your job. No more, no less. That is your job as a winger or inverted forward. Then he's clean through, and, he shoots stupid angles all the time. And what does he do? He looks for Bruno. It keeps coming out. It's a tap-in. Yeah. So Roy Keane said a couple of years ago, his famous quote, "Leopards not change their spots." Rashford does not have the football IQ or ability to change his spots. He is what he is. He's played under Ronaldo. He's played under Zlatan Ibrahimovic. How much improvement, I'll put the question back to you, gentlemen, have you seen with Rashford since he burst on the scene under Louis van Gaal, when it was his speed was beating fullbacks? Didn't know what to expect. But you take his speed out of his game, what does he give you, gentlemen? And for me, Ten Hag is basing his tenure at the club right now, for me, around that player, and it's wrong.
I feel that you got a point that he's kind of forced to play him. He's like a commodity, he's more for the PR. You got to play him. He's our highest paid player. You can't drop him. So he will die by the sword. He will fall by the sword, because that's not his player. To be honest, he should build his team around Hojlund. That's what he should focus on. Build your team around Hojlund. Play wingers, the old Manchester United way. Rashford is not a winger. He's a cut-in forward. He's a left cut-in forward, whatever you can call it. But ironically, we've been sitting here criticizing that he doesn't look up and pass. But this time, when he came free, he looked up 2 times, and third time he passed to Bruno. So in his back of his mind, when he was running there, I've been listening to critique, maybe I should pass. So maybe it was a little bit comfort. But if that goal had gone in, Jay, it would have been a different game.
Yeah, would it though? We can't hold the lead, Mick. No, history and logic would dictate we cannot hold the lead. That goal goes in, there's still no accounting for Massimo Tibi in goal, because right now we have the African Massimo Tibi in goal. Remember him under Fergie era? We have the African Master TB. That's our goalkeeper, lads. And you can, and like I know a lot of fans were losing their minds. Oh, nana banana, blah 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 blah. How many clean sheets he had this season? Yeah.
2.
So, in sport, it's a quote from American football: defense wins you titles. Offense is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Last season, yeah, we weren't a great footballing side, but we could see right. We don't concede. We're not going to score many goals. We will scrape out a dirty 1-0. And by hook or by crook, Ten Hag got us to third place, won the Carabao Cup, and I commend him for that. But where has been the progress? And you guys, part injuries, okay? It's professional sports. You're going to get setbacks. You're going to get injuries. So I'm not accepting the injury thing. I think the injury thing, let other channels use the injury thing as a shield for Ten Hag. Let's not shield him. You're the manager. You're a manager of business. Business, your competitors throw you curveballs. You adapt because you're the manager. So you haven't adapted. And for me, guys, again, you can come back at me, but where's the progress? There's zero progress. We have regressed as a footballing side, and the management of those players has regressed. Now, I am no fan of Jadon Sancho. I was one of the first people to call him out as a charlatan. The only nugget of that tweet he put out that I would agree with is the favourites line that he came out with. And he was been scapegoated.
Every manager.
That's the only bit. Every manager has their favourites, but a smart manager knows when to stop playing favourites and pivot away from the favourites and go with the players in their form. The smart manager. Ferguson did it. Jose did it. Pep does it. Poch does it. Jurgen Klopp does it. Jurgen Klopp will bench Salah at a drop of a hat and throw him. He won't even think about it. So will Pep. But our manager, no, that's not possible. I've got to play, as you said, Mick. Am I under instructions to play the commodity player, the franchise player, or do I just not have the balls to make the call and follow my own football philosophy and drop the player?
Do it right now, because I go with Footy Live. He's under massive pressure right now when you have players on low confidence, lack of motivation, and can't implement the style of play after 400 million in the market. Shocking. Yeah, well, you're trying to sort of do work with what you got. You're trying to sort of implement the style of play in the middle of a season when you have a lot of injured players. You go with the team that you have. You die by the sword, but you fall by the sword. But it's time now. I said in the preview, right? If we lose today, I'm going to look with a critical eye to say, whatever you select now, it's on you, Ten Hag, basically. So if you're going to play the team that's are informed, that makes a difference, do it now. You see clearly players that come in from the bench and make an impact. They are the ones that should start, not Rashford, not Bruno. Make an example, Ten Hag, that everyone is droppable. You didn't do that. You cannot play Mason Mount and Bruno together. They're the same two Siamese twins. You cannot. You cannot play Rashford on the right, on the left as a winger, because he's not a winger. He's not a proper winger. The two wingers, proper wingers, the playing wide that you have is Anthony Dos Santos and Garnacho. The proper striker that you have showed himself today with 2 goals. That is the proper striker that we've been crying out for. So therefore, you should build the team around that center forward, right? And have a midfield that can be press resistant, that don't give away balls. Play simple. Play simple. Play it wide, play through balls, but don't play those Hollywood passes. We couldn't. That's why I said, that's what I felt in the first half, that midfield was not balanced, was not controlled, because we couldn't string the balls like it was a ping pong. Like, it's no easy passes, right? Casimiro was caught off guard, off pace as well. I mean, I thought Casimiro had a fantastic game until he got sent off, by the way. So I'm about fair play. Like, it's not his fault. Like, he came in dire straight, like where we have injuries and have to play, in a very unnatural position. Daly was, I mean, I thought that, he was fault for the first goal. I thought Daly was off his rockets today as well. Like, he was shocking, to be honest. So anyway, I didn't expect us to lose today, but I had a bad feeling in my stomach. The only thing is what it is the lack of concentration, right? The lack of concentration. And what do I always say, you guys? 2-1 is the most dangerous score in football.
Yeah.
Always. You fall asleep, and what happened? 2-2. 2-2. But we are realists, like, it is what it is. It's the scoreboard that matters. And manager's going to get a lot of critics right now. But you also got to look at the defense. Defense fell asleep. I mean, if we have been criticizing that we are not scoring enough, we're not finishing the dinners. Now we had that, what I saw, we were actually finishing our chances. We're creating chances. We're almost finishing them. There was a couple of chances that could have gone in. Mason Mount shot and Hannibal Magebury stood in the way. A lot of them. But it's just the defense that let us down. And it's ironically because last year, the defense was not a problem. We had the strongest defense last year. So I am tired of this, that every second year there is something. Either it's the defense, or is it the attack, or is it the midfield? We always have to patch. We can never find the complete squad, balanced squad. All right? Last year was the defense. Then we had the midfield issue. We fixed the midfield issue. Then we have injuries. Now it's the defense is shaking. Now we have the attacking forward line. When is it going to end?
But doesn't that go back to the age-old problem that the club still has not hired a recognised, experienced, shark director of football? A proper shark that knows the African market, the American market, the Latin American market, and the European market. It's like Richard Arnold and Murta, they're pulling from the same pool that we've always pulled from. The Premiership players, broken down Premiership players that nobody wants, aging superstars that come for a big pay packet. And now laterally, we have a manager that just goes and raids Ajax. That's not recruitment, lads.
The ironical thing
That's not recruitment.
The pundit
That's
was
piss
saying
poor.
but the pundit was saying that Galatasaray hasn't won in Champions League for ages since the playing was a Shakhtar or something like
This is the first win ever in England in a Champions League tonight, gentlemen.
And it happened to be at Old Trafford and Crystal Palace.
Now,
and Crystal Palace.
Just think, right? You scored 2 at home in the Champions League. Yeah, that's 3 points. That's a lot for 3 points. To your point, Mick, we go one step forward last season, and now we go one step back. So we're still in this kind of flux where nothing's right. There's no real forward progression.
Yeah, I gotta read the
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
Super chat coming in from Sweden. Big up Jonathan Liljenberg. How are you doing? Hur mår du, Jon? Welcome to the therapy session, and thank you so much for your 50 kronis donation. What are you saying? I don't care if we lose. We need Glazers to leave. Of course, I want us to win, but the best win is the Glazers to announce the sale as soon as possible. Love this channel. Big up, man. We love you too. Seriously, man. So nice. I really respect. And that comes to a point that I totally agree with you, because we've been discussing on this channel before. Is this the season we just forget about competing? Forget about just sort ourselves out, get the Glazers out and start fresh with new ownership, getting Paul Mitchell that was available now from Nice or from Monaco, sorry. The sales is coming. The sales should be happening, But of course, every new owner wants us to be in the Champions League. But I think it's for the best if you're going to build a new squad. If you're going to have new ownership, you got to just forget about the cups, forget about Champions League. Just focus on the league and build from there, next season. Maybe it's my thinking, but I don't know what you guys are saying.
Yeah,
I think there's no point being in the Champions League at this moment and hoping, that we're gonna go really far. It's just one of those things where we can just use the Champions League as a practice space, And at this moment, it sucks to be able to recognize this. But what Jay was was saying made me realize that, yeah, Ten Hag had to prepare for that job interview and said, this is a PowerPoint of how I'm going to get the best out of Marcus Rashford. And now he's in a situation where he doesn't know how, he has to like realize that this thing of picking Marcus Rashford all the time, favoritism FC is only going to get you nowhere in Man United if you're the manager.
Oh, no. I have some bad news from Peter Elianteno. He just messaged me now on WhatsApp. He said, looks nasty. He said, bad luck. He fell and he fell down the stairs and cut his leg, and he's having stitches. It's a really bad, nasty cut. They took a picture. Peter, if you listen, oh my God, Peter, I don't want to display this picture, but listen, we're all behind you, my friend. We're all behind you. Oh, looks nasty, man. If you can listen to what I'm saying here, Peter, if you're watching, I feel for you, mate. That looks nasty. And I'm sorry that you had to, go to Old Trafford and fall down the stairs in that shit condition, in that shit stadium, which is leaking.
Hang on a second, Mick. Opportunity here. Light. Was it badly lit? Was there water on the floor? Has he witnesses? Yeah. Opportunity.
Was there water on the floor?
Water, lighting, witnesses, cameras. Yep. Opportunity here.
Peter, if you hear what he said, if you slip because of water,
bad lighting.
Bad lighting.
Health and safety.
Health and safety.
Just saying, lads. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, John O'Neill's coming out with the super chat. Thank you, John O'Neill, for your super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it. And welcome to the therapy session, John O'Neill. The worst is yet to come, boys. What you're saying, spineless team. Anyone wants to comment?
Yeah, I can go on that because I've been thinking about this, and our group of players, they will at the moment we are free falling. There's no spine in this team. We saw it under Solskjaer when it first started to go wrong. Everything went wrong, and it took them all the season, and it didn't change before after a couple of games under Ten Hag, and then we started winning again. So for me, I'm very, very pessimistic at the moment because I don't feel this group of players has the spine or they have the guts to turn this around. And maybe I'm almost 100% sure that some of the players in the group are thinking about throwing Ten Hag under the bus because we have player power in this squad. So what do you think, Jay? Are some of the players throwing Ten Hag under the bus?
Or just go like 10 petty that song, free falling.
I think psychologically in the back of the players' minds and the staff minds, ultimately in the next 6 to 8 months, the club will be sold to whoever purchased the club.
Yeah,
and the new owner will come in with their own views and their own business strategy, and that may be a different manager. Who knows?
Who knows?
Another new manager. If that is the case, again, it's a hypothetical question. These players may be sold. So I think, gentlemen, I think the players don't care. I really think the players don't care.
Anyway. Players don't care. Player gets paid football.
They're paid their wages. They're not fans of the club. They are there because they're paid to play for the club. They don't care, Jarvis. I really believe that.
Jobs, like you talented.
It is. But I came out with a phrase a few years back, and I coined testicular fortitude.
You did.
There is not a pair of balls right now in that team.
No,
not one.
Okay, I got to bring up a little bit positivity. To all the super chatters, thank you so much. Muhammad Ali coming in with the £2 donation and saying, bring in Paul Mitchell, please, and David De Gea as a free agent. I like the sound of it, to be honest. We need a director of football, and Paul Mitchell is the guy. Or Ralph Ragnick. But Ralph Ragnick more as a CEO, Paul Mitchell as a director of football. Because he's currently free. He left, Monaco. And David De Gea is still a free agent, isn't he?
Yeah, but to achieve that aim, that means then that Arnold and Murta and Darren Fletcher and the guys of that collective thought process. They're all gone. They're all cold. That only happens under a new owner.
We're not going to. Ivo Bosic is saying, stop blaming the Glazers for the shite we just seen on the field. Yet overpaid the coach and players to focus on football, not what's going on at.
We're not blaming the Glazers.
No, not
We're not. We're blaming the players and the manager tonight. We're not blaming the Glazers.
I'm not
The
blaming
Glazers don't pick the team. The players, the Glazers don't fail to pass the ball up across from the box. We're blaming the Glazers for the structure that's there and the staff that are there and the poor decision making. What happens on the pitch is on the manager and the players. I think you need to get a very clear dichotomy there with your statement.
Yeah. Do you think Ten Hag will go back to default from last season and start playing transition football again?
It depends on,
because he pulled the plug last year. We understand after we lost 4-0 against Brighton and 4-2 against Brentford. He pulled the plug.
Something.
Being back to basic settings. Then he's admitting that his decision to get rid of David and bring on Nana was wrong, and he's also admitting his decision to bring in Mason Mount was wrong.
Don't you think that his confidence is also being rocked right now?
And so it should be.
Should be, yeah.
If I'm actually interested now after the show, before I go to sleep, I'm going to watch his press conference. Not so much what he says, because now managers like a press conference, but I want to watch his body language, his facial expressions, and how he coaches the questions. That's what I'm going to be looking for.
If this match will happen in Galatasaray Stadium, Heisenberg is saying, there would be pissing in the pants, 100%, because that's the welcome to the hell stadium, right? But, however, he needs to hit the reset button, and I'll be closely watching. I don't want him to fail. I want him to succeed based on, give him time to build his squad, get Glazers out. Maybe he's not the right manager. Maybe he's not. But we've been down the road before. And what good is it for the club if we sack the manager and bring somebody new in? Who is available can do a different job. Nobody will ever succeed. We had Mourinho in, we had Louis van Gaal, we had everyone, award-winning pedigree, trophy-winning CVs and managers. And they just... Zlatan had an interview today with Piers Morgan, if you watched it, right? And he basically called it out. He said, basically, what is there to do? There's such a huge gap between the leadership and the manager. There's nothing there, right?
Well, actually, Nick, as a homework exercise, maybe if we all watch that before tomorrow night's show, because I haven't seen it.
Watch Zlatan's interview.
Yeah, I think we all watch. Have you seen it as well?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. So maybe
Piers Morgan.
If we park that for tomorrow night's show, and really dissect it.
Piers Morgan was trying to bait him to talk shit to throw the manager under the bus, but Zlatan was Zlatan. He said no. He was defending. He said it's not the manager's fault. Maybe he's learning. He's coming to a new league. There's a lot of pressure. It's United's a big club, but what can he do? There's a gap between him and the board that don't understand what the football is all about. That's what he said in layman's terms. But Piers Morgan tried to sort of, the Piers Morgan style, talk shit about United. I'm an Arsenal fan, right?
I just want to say something about the previous topic about Ten Hag getting sacked. I don't think he will get sacked, because we got to remember the Glazers have no plan B. The board has no plan B. If Ten Hag is getting sacked, they will bring in an interim manager. I bet you they will bring in Kieran McKenna or someone like that to be the manager for the rest of the season. And it won't work, and we can just throw the season away, because nothing will work with an interim manager, because we have no plan B. That's the problem, because they can't foresee. They don't plan ahead. That's the problem with the Glazers. We saw it on the Solskjaer what happened when Ragnick came in.
Big up Valero is coming in here. Don't change your coach. You change him after the second match in Istanbul. We need more score. Obviously, you're a Galatasaray fan. Welcome to the stream, my friend. And always good to see other fans coming in. And obviously, congratulations for your win as well. To be honest, but we can argue to the point. But of course, manager is the one that sets the team. Manager is the one that does the substitutions. It wasn't bad substitution at the end of the day. As we discussed, we understood why he subbed out. Put in Eriksson basically to get more control, because that paid off in the second half, right? The midfield will look more controlled in terms of the passes and the through balls and stuff like that. But then taking off Hannibal Mejbri gave us the lack of that intensity, the legs, as we were saying. So manager puts the field players on the team, manages the team, but it's the team that loses your game at the end of the day. You got to remember that as well. And that's what I was saying. Like, the defense was there, midfield was there in the second half. Okay, we got a red card, but it was the defense that fell asleep. 3 times in a row, they all fell asleep. I mean, what the hell are you doing, Daly? You get out-muscled by Wilfried Zaha? What is the manager, what is the goalkeeper supposed to do there? Nothing.
I think looking at that back, did Onana anticipate that Daly was going to win a physical battle?
Yep,
because his positioning was very poor for that goal.
Yeah, he was, but it was also deflection.
I think he was too far off his line. So should that keeper at that level not be anticipating? What if he doesn't win the ball? Where am I? I'm in no man's land. You don't want him stuck in his line, but you don't want him as far forward as he was either. So for me, I think his positioning was poor for that goal. And Wilfried Zaha literally outmuscled Dalot. I think it was very poor for the fans for booing Zaha. He's an ex-player from the club who was signed by Ferguson, got sold by Moyes, and I don't want to go into it because the algorithm might affect us. But I think we all know the story. If you don't, I'll tell you off air on why Zaha was gotten rid of by Moyes. So I think it's poor of the fans to boo that player. He's a decent player. He's English. Almost played well for Crystal Palace and finally achieved his goal of playing Champions League football. And I give Zaha full credit for that.
Yeah, 100%. It had to be Icardi. It had to be Onana to score as well. No, not Onana. Sorry.
Yeah, you love Onana, right? I know you love Onana, right?
I don't love anyone. I love my club. What are you saying? I love banana. Yes, I do. But not in that way. You bastard, try to bait me in there. Anyway, guys, big up for coming in. Don't forget to smash a cheeky like on this stream, on this video. It really helps us to come up in the algorithm. So big up to Jay as well. Big up to Jarvis. Big up for everyone that's coming in here. Win, lose, draw. This is our church. This is where we come to heal our hurts. That's what it is. That's Faithless song. But we are Manchester United, and we got to pull it through. We got to talk about where do we go from here. Do we scrutinize the manager's selection from now? We're clearly not going to throw the manager on the bus. That doesn't work. We've seen this recipe before, right? What I definitely think is it's a cycle. What we need is a reset button with new, fresh ownership. Invest in, build a new stadium, build new facilities, invest in Carrington, invest in the women's team. Pledge, not this 25% minority investment. By the way, tomorrow we have a special edition podcast exclusive. 2 p.m. Tune in on that one. It's there in the video description. We're going to talk about the takeover and who will get the club, to be honest. It's been a while, but I have Paul White on the show tomorrow, so it'll be me and Paul. Gloves are off tomorrow, guys. So, yeah, tune in on that one. Don't forget. Papi, he just in the background because he had to take a phone call. And I was thinking, guys, what do we do now? I mean, we're playing a game on the weekend at home. I think it's Brentford, right?
Correct.
Sure. Correct.
Brentford, yeah.
We need a little bit of a fight in that one. Thomas Frank is coming to town, and he's got a number there. He's done a job on us before. Are you guys worried?
I'm worried now with anybody we play. I have no confidence in any team we play anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to read some comments, Jarvis. We've been neglecting the VR room.
I just want to point out one good comment first. If it's okay for you, Mick, that was earlier. I put it in the star. Just say Hank Astral. He has a lot of good comments. He said Ten Hag is trying to play football this season. Last season was just about getting results. The former takes longer.
Yes.
So it's about to have some patience. We got to remember that Ten Hag is a system manager. He plays with the system, and he needs his pieces to get the system functioning. He got Onana, but we still don't have the right mix, and we are unbalanced at the moment. So my thoughts are I think Ten Hag can turn this around. If not, if the players don't throw him under the bus, but we got to give him a little bit of time.
I think that if I may comment as well, that's a great comment. I think that we are living in the past based on a culture and based on a winning culture and history, right? We are not that club anymore. We're not that, but we all want to be that club. And the only way to do it is like weather out the storm. Like you will have a good season, you will have a roller coaster, And that's why I'm thinking, well, I don't have any expectations right now. I know the situation what we're in right now with all these injuries, not excuses, but at the end of the day, I don't want to sack the manager. I want the manager to succeed. I want the players to succeed. I'm willing to sacrifice the season for a change of ownership so we can be run as a proper club, because currently we are not run as a club. Ten Hag is trying to, of course, he appoints analysts, he appoints right coaches, but he doesn't get backed by physios. They're like, interims, oh yeah, you want a professional like sports science interest. Oh, well, this guy just graduated. You know what I mean? He's cheap. Yeah. We don't have a head coach. You know what I mean? It's just shambles. The club doesn't want us to succeed. The club just wants us to get into top four so they can cash in. But however, Glazers hasn't been able to take out any dividends since January, December. They're going to cash out soon. And we got to have that reset button. And I hopefully we'll go to our winning ways the way it used to be. But right now, it is what it is. We just have to be patient. I'm not lowering down my standards. Never. But I'm going to lower down my expectations. Because you got to be real as well. You got to look at the current situation. I think the overall fan base expect us to come out and play good football all the time. But you got to look at the overall, what do you say, the summer, the whole cake, the whole mix of bag of shit that's in there. And Ten Hag is trying to navigate it too.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay is falling asleep.
No, I got to go and make a whole lot of food for tomorrow, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, I did a poll, by the way, earlier to say who is the man of the match, but you guys don't know it. So I want to hear from you. I know Icardi was probably what people will say, but we got to look at Manchester. What?
He missed the penalty.
Oh,
yeah.
I had a feeling in my gut he will miss it. Yeah, if that is not God gives, God takes. That's what my papa says to me. God gives, God takes. Never wish for anything bad. But at that moment, yes, I was celebrating, and then God took. Yeah.
Yeah, the man of the match was obviously Rasmus Hojlund. He was fantastic today. We saw a star on the rise, and he will be vital for us. We need him. And as I completely agree what you said in the beginning, Mick, that we have to build the team around Hojlund.
Yeah.
He's a good finisher, and he's strong, he's fast. We saw it. It was almost like a Haaland-esque when he ran through, and he just used his body to shield the ball and just put it in the goal. So, yeah, I see a lot of positive with Rasmus Hojlund.
Hojlund is the answer, Jay.
Yeah, look, I actually feel bad for Hojlund. Young player, just starting. He's really starting his career. His first big move to a big club, and he's not getting service. It's like you put someone in a restaurant, you put the plate in front of him and the fork and the knife and the spoon, but you don't give him the food. A player like Hojlund, you got to give him service and then him eat, and he will finish.
Yeah.
So he's definitely man of the match tonight. He's moving off the ball is what I'm most impressed about.
That speed.
I remember watching an interview with Gary Lineker when I was a kid. It was probably 12 or 13. At that age, a lot goes up your head. You don't get the full nuances. Well, Lineker said in an interview that he might make 30 runs into the box in a game for that one perfect pass that he'd knock away. And that's his job done for the game. And that always resonated with me that a top striker will always make those runs no matter what. And Hojlund, it's the first time I saw him play, he's making those runs irrespective of his lack of service. And that's the mark of a hungry striker.
The Hojlund goal that got disallowed was great. His composure was impressive. Listen, here's the thing. He just started his reigns with Manchester United. He's just getting wet behind his ears. You know what I mean? He's not dry yet. You know what I mean? But what we've seen so far, 3 goals in 3 Champions League games, and got chalked off a couple of goals in Premier League as well. Like I think it was 1. But it shows you the glimmer of hope what we need. And that's what I said in the beginning of the stream. We need to build around him. And players need to adopt around him as well. Because it's early, like people are getting to know each other. That's the thing. That's a positive glimmer of hope. And I'm looking at it, okay, Kobe Main is returning, Malacia is returning after the international, weather out the storm. But at the end of the day, I will take not to make top 4 this season if we have new ownerships coming in. That's what matters for me.
I think, Mick, you want to be 7th or 8th. You want to avoid Europa League. You want to avoid Conference League.
Yes.
So next season, you just want to have one game a week and have all the time on the training ground.
Exactly my point. That is what we need. We don't have time to train. We don't have time to implement. We're playing like 3 games a week, 3 cup games. We still have EFL Cup, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. We have Champions League still there. We have the league. There's no time to practice and train. And in the middle of season, you're trying to do system changes. Come on, guys. That's not feasible, right? You started off the preseason with like half-injured squad of players. Deservedly needed to go on holiday, 4 weeks break after that intense season. What are you supposed to do? Now you have muscle injuries. You come back and you try to
make. If you think about it, right? Think of the week. You play a game on Saturday. Sunday is a rest day. Monday you come in. You got a game Tuesday, so Monday is like activation day. Okay, game Tuesday. Tomorrow is active recovery day. You're going to go in. Massage, ice baths, active recovery for the guys that actually played. The second stringers will all properly train. Thursday, you'll do a light session. You're going to work on your tactical analysis of a team you're playing against. Friday will be another activation day, and Saturday's the game. When do you get your hard training done during the week? There's no time.
True that. Matthias, big up to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. You don't want to face the truth because you can't handle the truth. No, because handle the truth. I didn't really understand. You don't want to face the truth because handle the truth. Didn't I really understand that?
Things look better. Okay.
Deluded. I didn't really understand.
He's like basically criticizing people who say that things will be better when we.
Why shouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be? What would life be if you're constantly living in negativity, Matthias? I question you. What kind of life are you living? If you're constantly looking at shit all the time, then your life is shit, my friend. You got to look at positive sides.
I agree, Mick, but I can say the truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and the situation is what it is.
I love my fucking club. I love my fucking club.
Mick, be careful of the algorithm.
We got to be honest.
I don't fucking care. I love my fucking club. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but we can't.
I fucking bleed for this fucking club.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking having a meltdown.
Yeah, but okay, but it's okay. But we got to be honest.
Why can't I be fucking loving my club and be what is the point of being not deluded? Should I just look down and shit? Should I just continue being negative? That's the point.
No, it's not.
What the fuck is the point of living then? Should we just park the club then? Should we just park the bus and get the fuck out of here then? No, fucking give a shit about this.
Yeah, but we gotta be honest with yourself. It's not good enough.
What the fuck is this for shit? Deluded. Why am I deluded? I love my fucking club. I want us to win. You gotta fucking believe, man.
Okay.
I'm fucking out of here. Can't take this shit. Like, why can't we just see the light at the end of the tunnel? Honest to God. What's the point of supporting the club?
Can you chip in here, Jay? Be the middleman.
I think we should just end it on that. I think we should just.
I am just done with this fucking losses and done with this fucking shit.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm worried now about the aforementioned algorithm, and
yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel at the moment that we should be more realistic. Maybe Ten Hag needs a little bit of pressure to perform.
Yeah.
I think we can't just like say everything he does is good and be like a echo chamber and hallelujah. Something had to challenge him when he's not performing, and we gotta admit that it's not good enough, and the players are not performing. So maybe Ten Hag needs to step up his game.
Yeah, Jarvis. You know my style, my personality. I'm very analytical. I don't wear the rose tinted spectacles. Never have, never will. And we call out a player, a manager, tactic, substitution, whatever. And so we should. The glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel is in 6 or 8 months or 9 months or whatever it happens. We're sold to a foreign investor, whoever that may be. That is the only slight glimmer of light. That's it.
Yeah.
This
My
season is
apologies.
done. This season is over. This season is done.
My apologies.
We might win a Carabao Cup. We might get a run the FA Cup. But this season is done.
I come back here to give my apologies because you know me, I'm the voice of reason here on this channel. I'm trying to be strong for everyone, but I am also human, emotional, and I fucking love this club. Excuse me for going on a rant. Excuse me for being delusional. But what's life if you don't have a winning plan? You might as just well give up then. That's what I was trying to say. My life in general, people were saying, you cannot do this. I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I wouldn't be here where I would be in my life, traveling around the world, if somebody told me you were shit, you cannot do this. Life is about defeating the odds, my friends. Right? If you believe that you know, what's the point? That's what I'm trying to say, Jay, as well. And that what's the point then on competing if you don't believe you can win? Right? That's what I was saying, that in that case, I'd rather see what I said early in the stream. Don't compete for anything. Just finish 7th, 8th, and just focusing on next season with new ownership. So my deepest apology, audience, for you never hear me do this, but I lose my shit because I'm a sore loser. I love my club and I'm hurt. And I'm tired of this as well. I want to see progress. But I'm also realist to understand we are in this current situation. Now, the question is, how do we get out of this situation? Does it help to be negative? Is that the solution to get out of a situation? It's like Arnold Palmer, the famous golfer, said, you get yourself in trouble. You get yourself out of the trouble. And that's my point, gents. My deepest apologies.
No, listen, Mick, well said. It takes it's a big man to wear his heart in his sleeve and be emotional. It takes a bigger man to apologize. So I think anybody watching will be delighted to hear that. Jarvis?
VR room.
Yeah. It's no problem. We are passionate about United, and when we lose, we all hurt. That's just the way it is. But let's shift focus then. What was the good things that happened? What can we build on? What can we go? How do we move on from here? Which
Drop
players?
the goalkeeper. Drop the African Massimo TV for a start.
Yeah. But I would like to see Ten Hag. I can accept that we will have a season coming 7th if Ten Hag said okay and try to play more of the youth. Give Palestra a chance. Give
100%.
Or a chance. Give Garnacho a chance. Let them play. Let Hannibal play. When Mainu come back, let Mainu play. Get some energy into the group, some loyalty, some players who are willing to learn. And we know Ten Hag, he knows one thing, and Zlatan mentioned it today in his interview. It's about Ajax, it's about getting out talented players and youth. This is what Ten Hag knows. So why don't play on his strength and build a team around the youth? I would accept us coming 7th, knowing that in a couple of seasons, these players will be massive, huge, better, more experienced, faster, stronger.
We need something more positive right now. We need something positive, and Ten Hag needs to look himself in the mirror, look in the squad in the mirror, and to say, this is not working. He sees progression that we don't see. He looks at the whole team, as you said, he's assistant manager. But at the end of the day, you make the choices to play Bruno. You play 2 number 10s. You cannot do that, man. Seriously.
I think what it's like, you remember during the time of when Lampard and Gerrard were in their pomp, the golden generation of English football. Successive managers, Terry Venables, Capello, Ericsson, they insisted on always playing those two in the starting 11. And the English golden generation failed at successive World Cups, playing those two players with phenomenal attributes. Those players separately, Lampard, again, we have to park our United bias, but just the context of two phenomenal players in the Premiership, led their teams, stellar players, but they couldn't play together on the same pitch because they occupied the same space. And for us, and it unbalanced the entire England team. There was times that the England team was so unbalanced that Paul Scholes was playing out right wing to accommodate Lampard and Gerrard in the middle of the park. So I think we have the context of we should not have signed Mason Mount. I'm going to go on record. That's on the manager. We didn't need Mason Mount. And I will stand by that point. Mount and Bruno in the same 11 do not work and would not work. And you can clip me up on that, Nick, if you want.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, finally somebody understands as well, because football goes in cycles, right? People looking at what Angie's doing and stuff like that, right? They have a great stadium, they have great training facilities, all that. No excuses. But look at Arteta, finished 8th the first 2 seasons, right, in Arsenal. He was threatened to lose the job because people were calling him Arsenal fans, of the worst fans in terms of calling Arteta out and managers out. Same as we are not almost siblings. You know what I mean? Well, 3 years to formulate a winning formula. Same with Pep. Why can't we understand? I think that we have too high standards and we want to win now. That's the thing. But the only way to win now is to get those fucking guys out and start from there. Because if you don't have backing from above, mate, we see. That's what I'm trying to say. You ask for certain things and you don't get delivered, right? You order something on Amazon.
Instant gratification is not the best thing. It's like it's great with the chocolate, but it's not good, even though it tastes good right there and then. You got to
order the latest. You order the latest iPhone.
Have some discipline.
Yeah, but Jarvis, it's like you ordering the iPhone on Amazon, and what you receive as delivery is the old brick Motorola phone. You understand? There's no communication from there. But anyway, the games has to prove, the manager has to select the right players, because he's got to look at the analysis videos and understand, he's got to also stop being delusional, to be honest. Stop trusting the players that don't work and play the players like what we say, Mejbri, like Garnacho. Set an example. What is there to lose? But anyway,
we can't do any worse.
We can't do
That's the beauty of it. He cannot do any worse. We're losing. We have been losing. So do it. Just flip the switch.
Yeah. Anyway, Paul is saying here the man of the match is Hojlund on 88%.
Very
on the
good.
chat poll. So big up. I feel actually sorry for Hojlund. It's such a nice, brilliant night like this, that not to be able to celebrate this. Because that was he could have scored a hat trick, to be honest, if he wasn't choked off offside. So
yeah,
that's the positive. Amrabat needs to go back in the central defensive midfielder. We need Malacia to come back from his injury, so we can actually have a balanced back four. Liche is what Liche is. We can't do anything. We just have to go. We just have to play the way we can play. Wheelchairs. But I haven't seen. I can't even remember it, Jay. I can't even remember when we had this misery of. We have a good squad on paper, but they're not fit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, games aren't played in paper.
Yes, not true that. Anyway, people.
I just want to bring up one point before everybody goes on Ten Hag, because there's one minor detail that's very important to remember. Ten Hag didn't want Mason Mount as his first choice.
No, he didn't.
Rumor has it that he wanted Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig, but the board didn't want to give him that player because he didn't have the value as Mason Mount has, and he didn't have the English quota.
Because United rolled out the number 7 jerseys for Mount because he was English. There was that issue. That was the jingoistic mindset of the club again.
I don't see that this was Ten Hag's first choice signing, but they tried to make it believe. I don't see it.
Mm.
Try to
So
convince me.
the question in Mick then is, how much control did Ten Hag have over signings?
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's something to ponder in another show.
But this
Well,
is
we
very
definitely-
important to remember when it comes to everybody criticizing Ten Hag for Mount. He wanted Xavi Simons.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Paul Mitchell, come in. Glazes out. Qatar in. Paul Mitchell in. Build new structure above. Create have footballing people. Glazes out. That's what we can wish for. That's the only thing that I wish for this season, to be honest. That's the biggest out signing or the biggest transfer market signing we can ever get in football in terms. We ship Glazes out. We get the new owners in that gives us TLC. And that understands what football is all about. And by the way, Ratcliffe, I never seen him in a Manchester United jersey. He claimed he was there on the final, but there's no pictures of him there, 1999. He's a Chelsea season ticket holder. He's that guy, he just wants to sling in a threesome. Jay, you're going on a date, on a Tinder date, and you go there, you meet her, she likes you, and there's Jim Ratcliffe that doesn't want to give up,
I think
He's wanna
might
push
know
in
my
for a
response will be pretty fast and pretty sharp.
You understood that analogy. Go
I
away.
don't
now.
share.
So,
I don't
I
share.
just want to be part of the action. I don't share. And Sheikh Yassim, no, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
share.
sharing with you. But I want it. It's my legacy. I'm retiring. I'm done with this Empire stuff. I'm pushing 77. I'm done
On
with
that bombshell, Joey doesn't share his food.
Anyway, we're going to talk about it tomorrow in a podcast. Maddie, sorry for getting off on. It was not you that triggered me. It was the overall experience, my friend. So my deepest apologies. Nothing personal against you. Pick up and coffee and smell the coffee. Matt, I drink a lot of coffee. You know that, mate. So big love to you as well. Scotty at the wheel on paper. What are you saying? Sony PlayStation played Sancho with the injuries. We shouldn't win with the squad. Guys, win, lose, draw. We're always here for you. This is the therapy session. I lost my shit today at the end. I do apologize. Am I forgiven? Press 1, press 2. Send me to the sin bin.
And hit the like before you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Jay, what's your final thoughts? We lost Puppy here.
Final thoughts. Let's finish 8th, 9th, or 10th. Avoid European football next season and start a proper rebuild.
Yeah, that's my takeaway as well. You, Jarvis?
Yeah, I concur. Jay is completely right. We got to start a rebuild in a real way.
What's a 6?
And it comes from the top down.
Yeah, Rushman just got back from the game and we're just about to close the shop. Neil, forgive me. Please forgive me. I did apologize, yeah, I did. Of course, number 1. Big up Rushman who just came back from the rain. I hope you didn't get too soaked and too disappointed. Shit happens. Hit the like button. We go again. I'm tired of saying here we go again, but we have to. We have to play football.
Yep.
And God help us. We're playing Brentford. Oh, God. Are we going to kick Brentford out of the park? We got to create some momentum now.
Make it too soon. We got to have a couple of days just to lick our wounds, and then we can go again.
Okay. I have a cat. He's very good at licking my wounds. All right. Guys, I have nothing more to say. Peace, love, and shit. Onana slipped on a banana. Stay beautiful, people. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Jay. Good night, people. Take it easy. That's all, folks. Bye for now. Glazes out. Green and gold until we sold. That's it. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.